another big story of the day. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will embark on a two-day visit to Russia today. And Prime Minister Modi will be in Moscow from today till tomorrow for the 22nd India-Russia Annual Summit that will review the entire range of multifaceted ties between the two countries. During his visit, Prime Minister Modi will attend a dinner with Russian President Vladimir Putin. And Prime Minister's visit is being considered crucial as this will be Prime Minister's first visit to Russia after the Kremlin began its quote-unquote military operation in Ukraine. After Russia, Prime Minister Modi will embark on a historic visit to Austria, making it the first visit by an Indian Prime Minister to Austria in the last 41 years.
Well, look, for a variety of reasons, a lot of it, was scheduling, was preoccupations of various kinds. There was a bit of a delay. There's been a slippage in our annual summits. Now, this was a tradition. It's a good tradition. We are, after all, two countries who have such a strong history of working together, very steady history of working together. So we did, both of us value very much the need for an annual summit. So even last year, I went to Moscow at the end of the year, and at that time, I carried a message from the Prime Minister that, look, we are committed to the annual summit and we will do it sooner rather than later.
Well, the visit is very significant. It is taking place after a gap of 3 years. We have the tradition of annual exchange of summits, level meetings between the President of Russian Federation and the Prime Minister of India. And the last one was in 2021. So since then, a lot has changed around the world, but also our relations have expanded. Russia is now one of very important sources of crude energy resources in India. Also, trade have expanded in other areas.
Everybody's excited, everybody knows about this thing. Russian media has been covering it very positively, and it's again the proud moment for the Russians because Prime Minister is coming for the first bilateral visit after his third time coming to the power. So it talks too much for Russia, and Russians sees this is one more milestone in their friendship. So yes, Russians are excited, Indians are excited, and I hope something miracle is going to happen.
I'm learning Kathak dance for maybe 7 years, and I'm happy that finally I can present this beautiful, my favorite art form in front of Narendra Modi, and I'm happy that this event is happening, that Narendra Modi is visiting Moscow, and it means that the relationship between two my beloved countries are really strong.
And CNN News 18 Siddhant Mishra is joining us on this story. Siddhant, a very good morning to you. Siddhant, tell us what all is on the agenda of Prime Minister's much awaited and much anticipated visit to Russia.
Well, look, this is perhaps the first visit of Prime Minister Modi, first bilateral visit of Prime Minister Modi. He will embark on 3-day visit first to Russia and then to Austria. In Russia, Prime Minister will hold summit-level talks with President Putin. India and Russia have a special and privileged strategic partnership, and this time around, Prime Minister Modi will hold 22nd summit-level talks with President Putin. In between, for 3 years, summit-level talks couldn't take place, first because of COVID and then because of Russia invading Ukraine. This is for the first time that Prime Minister is on a bilateral visit, that too he is going to Russia, and this is his first visit to Russia after Russia invaded Ukraine. This visit perhaps has a lot of significance. When two leaders will sit down for summit level talks, there is going to be restrictive talks first, then a delegation level talks. This is what we have been told. There are some key agendas that are going to be taken up during the meeting. In fact, the issue of regional and global importance matter would be brought up. Then divisive mechanism for quick transfer of money between two nations going to be the priority, as swift payment mechanism has already been suspended. The two leaders can also initiate a process to allow use of national currencies by tourists and students. That means a RuPay card can be used in Russia and MRI cards can be used in India. That can also be initiated. Also, India will also take up the issue of increase in exports to Russia, as there is lot of trade imbalance with Russia, given India buy a lot of energy from Russia. So there is a lot of trade imbalance. The priority is also that Russia invests back in India, or India increases exports to Russia. The most interesting perhaps domain could be the connectivity domain. In fact, Foreign Secretary Vinay Quatra the other day, while addressing press conference here in Delhi, did drop a hint of Vladivostok and Chennai port connectivity domain. So in 2019, a letter of intent was signed between two countries when Prime Minister Modi visited Russia in 2019. This time around, we could see some development, some major outcome as far as connectivity is concerned. Then there could also be some outcome related to international north-south transit corridor. In fact, India has already pledged billions of dollars to develop Shahid Beheshti terminal in Chabahar port, which is again a part of international north-south transport corridor. So we could also see some sort of a development on that front. Then there is a delay in S400. So that is a major concern for India. That will also be taken up. And very important one, the early discharge of Indians working for Russian army. Perhaps that's going to be top on the agenda, as 35 to 40 Indians are still stuck in Russia working for Russian army. So that will also be taken up during the summit level talks between Prime Minister Modi and President Putin.
All right, Siddhant, thank you so much for getting us all those details. We'll keep coming back to you for more updates on this story. So all eyes are on Prime Minister Modi's two-day visit to Russia, where he will be having a bilateral meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin. With that, we're now slipping into a very short break. We'll be right back.